In this video we go through bearings, and then there'll also be some questions that will involve bearings, but they'll bring in trigonometry and Pythagoras, which we'll need to recap anyway for some harder work down the line. So in mathematics, a bearing is the angle in degrees measured clockwise from north. Bearings are usually given as a 3-figure bearing, or 3 digits. For example, 30 degrees clockwise from north is usually written as 030. So bearings are used to describe the direction of something from a given point. They are most commonly used in map reading and navigation. Bearings are measured clockwise from north and should always have 3 figures in them, as I've said before. So the first one here, the bearing of B from A is 56 degrees. So if you look at the language of it there, it says from A, so the angle will be measured at A, and then it always starts off at north. So there's your A, there's your north drawn in, and you turn 56 degrees, and then you'd be facing B. If we look at the second one then, it's the bearing of D from C. So from C means that you'll be at C facing north, and it's the bearing of D which tells you then how many degrees you've got to turn from facing north to then face D. So the bearing of D from C is 135. Again, that means if you're from C, if you're going from Coleraine to Dungannon, for example, you'd have to turn 135 degrees from north if you were at Coleraine. The bearing of F from E is 240. So this time it's from Enniskillen. So we're at Enniskillen, we're facing north. You have to turn 240 degrees to be facing Finaghy. And finally, the bearing of H from G. From G means we're starting at G. We're facing north. You'd have to turn 317 degrees to then face H. If your G could be Garva, you have to turn 317 degrees to then be facing H for Hillsborough. I was struggling to get an H there, Hillsborough. So the bearing where it's of is where you're going to go to, but from is where you're at to begin with. So the bearing is from G, so from the G will be at that point where the angle is created. Calculating bearings when only sketches are given. So sometimes you'll be given a sketch and then you'll have to find the bearing of one point from another. So the rules: draw the north direction from where you want to calculate the bearing if this is not already on the sketch. So in this example you'll see a north drawn. It isn't always drawn, so you get the point and always draw in north. And then you work out the clockwise angle from the north direction. So in this question we've got to work out the bearing of B from A. So the angle will be at A, and it's the angle you've got to turn clockwise from north. So if there's north from A, clockwise will be the bearing, which will be this angle here. So the angle will be 360 minus 129, because a full turn is 360, and then you get 231. So we would say the bearing of B from A is 231. Okay, let's look at calculating bearings when no sketches are given. So sometimes you'll get a problem in words only, so you have to draw your own sketch. The rules are: draw a sketch. Do not try to draw the angles accurately. Just try and get them to be the right size in terms of acute or obtuse or reflex. Draw the north direction from where you want to calculate the bearing, and then work out the clockwise angle from this north direction. So this example, we've got the bearing of C from D is 58 degrees. And we've got to work out the bearing of D from C. But let's get this drawn first of all. The bearing is from D. So you mark on your D. Let's say it's there. To look at bearings, we need to have a north drawn all the time. So we have a north from D. And the bearing of C is 58 degrees. So we need to go 58 degrees out from north, which should be an acute angle. So somewhere along here, 58 degrees, and that would bring us to C. Now we have to work out the bearing of D from C. So if we want to find it from C, that's the bearing from here. If we want to work out that, we need to always get our north to begin with. So we draw north again, and the bearing of D from C is going to be from north clockwise until you're facing D, which would be that angle there in blue. How will we work that angle out? There are a number of ways to do it, and I'm going to show you one way to begin anyway. If you draw a dotted line in there, you can remember you'll more commonly call it a Z shape. If you turn your page around, it would be Z shape. They're called alternate angles. So that would mean that the angle here is the same size. It's 58. And then I know this angle here is just on a straight line. So it's 180 degrees. So the bearing of D from C is the angle you turn from north, which is 180 plus the 58, which would get you facing C. So the bearing is 180 plus 58, and that gives you 238 degrees. That's the bearing of of D from C. Let's do another one just to make sure we're happy with this concept. The bearing of E from F is 200 degrees, and we're going to find the bearing of F from E. So begin by trying to draw this out. The bearing of E, it's from F. So if it's from F, you just mark on your F first of all. To measure the angle 200 degrees, we need to have our north drawn in. And then 200 degrees, where would that be? Is the line going to go in what direction? Northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west? Have a look at the angle. It's 200. I know 180 degrees is half a turn, so that would be south. So 200 will be slightly more than going half a turn. So 200 degrees would be something like this here. Alright? So that angle there is 200 degrees. And when you turn 200 degrees from north, when you're at F, at F, when you turn 200 degrees, it'll be the bearing of E. You'll be facing E. We then have to find the bearing of of F from E. So that's the bearing starting at E. Go north and turn around from north until you face F. Would be this angle in here. How would I work out that angle? You can use the same idea as before, or there's other ways you can do it too. I'll show you a different way. I'll show you two ways. If you split it up like this, you know that that's 180, and if the whole thing's 200, you know this angle in here would be 20, and if that's 20, this would be 20. Another way to do it is if a full turn is 360, which means this bit in here would be 160 to make 360 in total. And then this here shape, like a C, if you turn it around, they're called interior angles. And interior angles should add up to 180, if you can remember from second year. And that makes this angle in here 20, so that they add up to 180. The bearing then is 20 degrees. You'd lose a mark for that, however. You need to make sure it's a three-digit number. So 020 degrees is the bearing of E. Bearing of F from E. Okay, I'd like you to try these questions here. Shouldn't take you very long. Once you get the hang of it, they get quite quick. So pause your video, do the questions, and then press play, and the answers will be there for you. No cheating. Voila. Hopefully you found the first ones not too bad. These ones here, you'd need a diagram for them. Just let me know if you need any help with those. So let's apply what we've learned about bearings to these questions. A helicopter leaves Bristol and flies due east for 10 miles. Let's try and draw that. So 10 miles, and it says due east. And that was, it leaves Bristol, so it starts off at Bristol and it goes 10 miles east. Then the helicopter flies 10 miles north. Oh, rubbish. Change the diagram. Got to go north, so I need to be able to have space to go up, and it's going up 8 miles. 10 miles east, 8 miles north, and that's it. So it starts off at B and it ends up at its destination, wherever that is. So from B, that would be the direct route, and it asks you to work out the direct distance of the helicopter from Bristol. So we want to work out that distance. To do that, I would use Pythagoras' theorem. So the direct distance is the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse squared is equal to the short side squared plus the other short side squared. So the hypotenuse squared would be equal to 164, and the hypotenuse is equal to the square root of that, which gives you 12.8 to 1 decimal place. In part B, we have to calculate the bearing of the helicopter from Bristol. So the helicopter, when it finished off, was here, and Bristol is here. The bearing of the helicopter, that means when you look at the helicopter from Bristol, means you're at Bristol to begin with, would be the angle from north when you're at Bristol that you have to turn so that you'll be facing the helicopter. So this angle in here. Now it's not inside a triangle. You could make a triangle for that. However, if we just find out this angle in here, that would be fine, because we know that this should be a 90-degree angle. Why? Because this 10 is east, and north and east make a 90-degree angle. So I want to work out this angle here. I'm going to call it x. And we can say that, well, how do we know what x is? We need to use trigonometry. We need to label our sides, so the 8 and the 10. 8 is opposite and 10 is adjacent, so we can use the tan function. Tan of the angle x is equal to the opposite 8 divided by the adjacent 10. So x is the tan inverse, if you can remember, of 8 divided by 10. If you put that in your calculator, you end up with 38.7 degrees. And then our answer for the bearing is going to be 90 degrees minus a 38.7, which gives you your 51.3 degrees. Now a bearing is a 3-figure number, so you go with 0, 5, 1 to the nearest degree. We'll finish off with another application question. A boat is approaching a cliff with a lighthouse on top. Here's your boat and your lighthouse on top of a cliff. The cliff is 100 meters high and the lighthouse is 30 meters tall. The angle of elevation from the boat to the top of the lighthouse is 20 degrees. The angle of elevation, remember, is if you're looking straight ahead, that would be 0 degrees. That's an eyeball, by the way, and an eyelash if you get your extensions on. Maybe, yeah, get the idea. The angle of elevation is the angle you've got to look upwards. So that angle there would be the angle of elevation. So if you imagine yourself on the boat looking forward, you look at the base of the cliff. The angle of elevation is the angle you've got to look up to look at the very top of the lighthouse. Calculate the distance of the boat to the base of the cliff. So the boat to the base of the cliff. If I just draw that triangle again for my own reference with the relevant information, we've got the 20 degrees angle of elevation. We want to work out the distance from the base of the cliff to the boat, so I call that x, and the height from the base of the cliff to the top of the lighthouse would be 130. So we can put in 130. To work out x then, I label my sides. If this is the angle, that will be opposite the angle, so O, and x is not the hypotenuse, it's not the longest side, so it'll be the adjacent A. So we've got the tan function again. Tan of the angle will equal the opposite tan divided by the adjacent x. You can cross multiply to get x times tan 20 equals 10, and then divide by tan 20 to get that x is 10 divided by tan 20. You may have other ways of doing that. As long as you get 10 divided by tan 20, that's fine. You end up with x being 27.5 to 1 decimal place, 27.5 meters. Part B is to work out the angle of elevation from the boat to the top of the cliff. So at the minute the angle 20 degrees goes to the top of the lighthouse. If we just want to go to the top of the cliff, we're going to look at that line there, so this triangle. So I'm going to draw out that triangle. The base of the cliff to the boat will be the same distance as we just worked out, so that will be 27.5, although I'll use the accurate number in my calculator. The height is just going to the top of the cliff, so the height of this triangle is just 100 meters, and we don't know this distance here, although we don't really care either. We're looking for the angle of elevation. We're looking for this angle here, x. So let's find x. We label our sides. Opposite the angle is O, and the other side, if it's not the hypotenuse, if it's next to the angle, it will be A. So we've got tan. Tan's quite popular function for these sort of questions. So tan x equals the opposite 100 over the adjacent 27.5, and then if tan x is equal to that, x is the tan inverse of 100 divided by 27.5. Put it into your calculator. And you get 74.6 degrees. And the question is just asking for the angle of elevation, so that is the question complete.